Hello everyone, it's Mika Geek. I hope you're doing well. Today we're back with a new video. Yes, I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and this time with something really amazing. Anyway, before we start the video, I want to tell you that it's important to watch the video all the way through if you really want to support my work. You can't imagine how much it would help with the algorithm. And don't forget to like the video. Honestly, if we can reach 1000 likes, that would be incredible. And on top of that, it would show me that you're interested in this type of video, and I could make more of them. So, let's get down to business. As in most of my videos, I'll start by filming myself against a green screen. For those who don't know why I use a green screen in my videos, it's simply to overlay different elements. Think of it like working with collage art. Imagine you have several magazines and need to create an image from them. You would cut out a character, then cut out some sunglasses to add to the character, and then cut out some trees to place in the background, and glue these different elements together. This way you create the desired image. It's the same for my videos. I need to film myself against a green screen to better separate myself from the footage and then integrate myself into another video. Also, you should know that I face a challenge when filming: the lack of space. As you can see, I really don't have much room to properly set up all my equipment and film myself correctly. Because of this, the quality of my videos hasn't been as good as it could be if I had a proper studio with a green screen and lights placed as I would like. But we make do with what we have, and I think I'm managing pretty well with the resources at hand. Anyway, to talk a bit about the storyline, what I wanted to do is a short film featuring a fight between Gogeta and Black Goku. This means I'll need to shoot 2 or even 3 times more scenes than usual. As you probably already know if you've been following me for a while, I recently bought a silicone muscle prosthesis. You can't even imagine how horrible it is. It's heavy, sticks to the skin, it's unbearably hot, makes it hard to breathe, and movements become very complicated. Plus, right now while filming it's over 35 degrees Celsius in the middle of summer, so you can imagine how awful it is. Seriously, I turned into a fountain during filming. After just 15 minutes there were puddles of sweat coming from my wrists and my stomach. If you look closely at the footage, you can see that the belt is soaked. Anyway, to keep the video from dragging on forever, I'll explain how I created some of the scenes. But keep in mind that I made a total of 30 different scenes, so when I explain what I did for some of them, remember that I did the same for the other 29 scenes. Keep this in mind, as it's where you'll really see all the work that went into this video. So how did I create the first scenes with Gogeta? In a nutshell, I used my editing software, After Effects, to cut myself out and turn the video into a sequence of PNG images. I then chose a reference image. For example, for this scene, there were 198 images, so I selected image 79 and sent it to Photoshop to retouch all the details, especially the face. I completely modified my face and then sent this reference image to EB Synth, which applies my modifications to the rest of the images. It's worth noting that depending on the scene you might need more or fewer reference images. For instance, for scene 27, I had to create 8 reference images to get a decent result. Otherwise, you might end up with something strange. If the movements in the scene aren't too intense, the software does a fairly good job. However, if the movements are more complex, you'll need to be patient and retouch many images. After that, I created the different hairstyles for Gogeta and Black Goku using my 3D software Blender. For this part, there's not much interesting to say, except that I had to place the hair pieces one by one to get the result I envisioned. I made 3 different hairstyles: Gogeta's in Super Saiyan Blue, and Black Goku. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that once the hairstyles were finished, I had to track the movement of my head across the different scenes. Then, I used Marvelous Designer to create a simulation of a belt flowing in the wind, and I combined everything in After Effects, including the hair, characters, and clothing simulation, while trying to correct minor flaws. I want to remind you that I had to do this for the 30 different scenes in this video. Next, for the environment, I used an old model I created for the Black Goku video, which I encourage you to watch if you haven't already. I modified and enlarged the model as much as possible to play with different angles. I placed all my cameras in the positions I wanted to capture the scenes. For scene 10, I had to add smoke impacts, as if someone had been violently thrown onto the scene. I used Ember Gen to create and simulate the smoke impacts, which I then exported to Unreal Engine. From now on, things will move quickly as it's mostly repetition for the other scenes. However, for the last 2 scenes, I had to add fire and energy lights to my characters. Since my setup, which I showed at the beginning of the video, doesn't allow me to play with lights the way I'd like due to lack of space, I used a software that lets me create various textures for my video. With that I can send them to Blender, where I can then add the lights. As you can see, it's pretty cool. You can play around as you like, and I find the effect really impressive. I just need to place the lights, make them flash as I want, and add them to the moments where they're needed. And here we are, at the end of this video. I hope it wasn't too complicated to understand, and that you were able to appreciate all the work behind it. Before I go, I'd like to tell you about my Patreon, which I set up a while ago. I occasionally post some effects I've created, and sometimes environments, as well as tutorials to help you replicate my videos. Most importantly, if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe there. It would help me immensely to continue making this kind of video. It also helps me cover the costs of costumes and various accessories needed for my projects. Anyway, all the links are available in the description, but even just sharing and liking the video really helps me. Additionally, I'd like to become a YouTube partner, so I can fully dedicate myself to this passion. If you want to help, please know that I just need more watch time, so don't hesitate to watch my videos all the way through. And if you're really committed, maybe even let them loop for the most dedicated of you. Anyway, thank you for staying until the end, and I hope you enjoy the video. This was Mika Geek, and I'll see you next time.
二人の強さを足しただけじゃないぞ。あがいても無駄だぜ。素晴らしい。俺はゴジータ。へへへ。さて、もうおしまいか？行く。えい、そらそらそら。それだけとは大したもんだ。こんくらいか。行くぞ。気が済むのだ。